If you're in the middle of craft fair season and your workspace looks a little chaotic, you're not alone. In today's video, we're going to talk about some things you want to make sure that you avoid as you prepare, pack, make, and work through this season as a handmade seller. Now, I've learned and continue to learn a lot of these strategies, these things to avoid over the course of several years working through craft fairs. So consider this your friendly reminder of what not to do in your workspace. One of the most important things that I had to really get over at the very beginning of prepping for craft fair season is not to overthink labels. It does not need to be perfect. You don't have to have these fancy, perfect labels on all of your boxes you'll be taking to the craft fair or even the stuff that you're using for your craft supplies. Because let's be real, who is actually looking at those labels besides you? Not very many people. So grab some painter's tape, grab a Sharpie, and just stick the label on there. It is much easier to stay organized if you have a label you can make quickly than worrying about printing and perfecting the perfect label. It will just be something that you will overanalyze over just getting it done. Tip number 2. Do not leave projects half done. This is by far the most challenging thing for me as a handmade seller. I start a project and I'm super excited about it. Then all of a sudden, another project pops in my head or something I see, and I want to try to recreate it. And then my brain gets sidetracked. And then what happens? I have a whole lot of unfinished projects that never actually make it to my craft fair table. So, this is my call to you. Please go into your workspace, find those half finished projects, and take today or your next available time and finish up those projects so that you can list them or prep them for your next craft fair. Okay, this is a hard one for all of us to hear, including myself. Do not save every tiny little scrap just in case, because here's the deal. There is a very limited chance that you will use that scrap or even remember where it is if you decide that you need it for your next project. If you have scraps that you know that you will use and you want to put them together in a bin and label them, that's wonderful. But I will tell you, I have piles and piles of open containers of random scraps that are not even organized in my craft space right now, actually my storage area. And I know that that is something I have to go through because as I was looking through stuff this weekend, I saw stuff that I would love to make, or even half done projects from last year that I told myself I would make this year and completely forgot about. So those things are going to get cleared out and moved on because I need that space. Space is way more valuable than a 2-inch piece of scrap wood, right? Okay, tip number 4, do not skip your daily reset. This is critical. You want to make sure that when you are leaving your workspace, you take 5 minutes to clean up, organize, put away, wash the paintbrushes, whatever you're going to do, because it makes it that much easier for you to walk into your craft space the next time you start and get right to work. When you walk into a messy craft space, you might spend 45 minutes trying to figure out where you were with a project or what you were doing or what needs to be cleaned. It might take you longer to clean. So go ahead and take that 5 minutes at the end of your craft session so that you feel ready to go the next time you are in there. This is a pretty important one. Do not mix your personal and business supplies. So your craft fair stuff, like what you're using to prep all of your crafts and all that, that's going to probably lend itself to being somewhat messy a good chunk of the time, right? It is just is what it is. But your business and marketing materials, your tags, your business cards, your any other things that you need for your business really should have a designated space that is not on your craft table or next to your craft table where it could get paint splatter on it. Find another space, tuck it away, and know where it is so that when you need it, you can get to it quickly. One of the things that I like to do is keep one of those Tupperware bins with all of those supplies together next to that bin I showed you last week with my like craft fair emergency kit. That's what I like to do because when it's time to prep for craft fair season or in the midst of craft fair season, I have it right there and I know where all those supplies are. Trying to find stuff that you've tucked away in a drawer or stuck on a shelf kind of on a whim is going to make it much harder for you to find it when you need it later. Next up, Do not procrastinate pricing and tagging your products. The night before your craft fair is not the time to be tagging products. Or what I have done in the past is tag them the morning of the show while I'm at the craft fair. So, my suggestion to you is don't do that. I spent a good chunk of time about a month ago revamping my website to match all of the prices and price points there to what I plan to sell them for at my craft fair so that I can share inventory. I would say if you are selling online as well as in person, this is something you might want to consider. Figure out what your pricing will be. I highly recommend going to the dollars, especially if you're in person, and then put that on both sites. I previously used the 95 pricing psychology, but decided that pricing psychology is one thing, but me being organized and having some way of not having to go double duty on getting my inventory listed and then fixed and everything before and after a show is most likely going to be the easiest for me in the long run. Here's another really good one. How about your packaging supplies? Do you find that you end up, when you go to package products, especially if you're going to ship them out, all of a sudden your workspace turns into just this explosion of craft paper, bubble wrap, boxes that you have to tape together, and then you have to weigh them and everything. And it's almost like you've now taken a perfectly organized space and just made it a disaster and then forgot to clean it up. Make sure you have a nice, clean, and tidy space for all of your shipping materials or your packaging materials. And I would suggest leaving it set in a way where you can easily grab what you need without having to dig through five other things. I like to keep mine on a shelf stored and then a big box next to that for my bubble wrap or my anything I'm using to package and protect the stuff inside the box. When I'm looking at stuff at a craft fair, I like to keep that stuff in a larger bin all together, and that's something I can tuck right under my craft fair table and pull out what I need when I need it. A really important follow-up to how we label and organize things in our craft space or in any workspace is also making sure that you're not storing things without a purpose. If you are creating a miscellaneous bin and you fill a whole bunch of miscellaneous things up, just like I mentioned before, you might not find that 2-inch scrap piece of wood that you were like, oh, I can use this for this, but I'm going to put it here for right now. Really, let's think about what you actually need and how you will actually organize it so you can find it when you need it later. Do not ignore your workflow in your space. If you are reaching over stuff or tripping over one thing to get to another thing, it is going to be not only a little bit dangerous and a little harder for you to stay organized, but also it's going to impact your workflow. It's going to take you longer to get things done. You'll be moving around boxes to get to other boxes, then going quickly back to your workspace to get that next piece of the craft done, then finding something else, and you will end up making your job harder rather than working smarter. So that's something to consider. Think about the workflow and what type of workflow you need and set up your space for that rather than trying to work within a space that might not be as efficient. The last and most important tip that I have for you today, do not try to do it all at once. Trying to reorganize your entire craft space in one day is going to be exhausting for you and pretty much unrealistic. Let's take a chunk of the day every day this week and find one thing that we're going to organize as we're prepping for craft fair season. We're not sitting here waiting for the season to finish and then say, oh, I'll organize after I'm done, because honestly, all of those other things within this month will also be more difficult for you. It'll be more difficult for you to get stuff done quickly. It'll be difficult to find things. It'll be difficult to get yourself as organized as you need to be, which will impede the ability for you to get more done in less time. I would love to know. Please let me know in the comments, which one of these tips do you feel is absolutely you? And which one of these do you feel like you do very well? What are some things that you know you want to avoid this craft fair season, both for now and then throughout the year? Because if we develop the habit now, that will absolutely be something we can do all year long. So, what is your goal for today and for this week to help yourself hoard less and sell more? I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Hoard Less, Sell More, and I will see you in the next one.